Yeah, I'd expect Vox to be banned. Again, just because it worked last game, as you said, Aeon is so comfortable on Vox. If it's not banned in the first phase of bans, it's going to be picked up immediately. So they ban it away, it makes sense. I think Lyra is probably going to be picked up again. We saw how strong Lyra was. If you build an Echo and get a little bit of health, that's 1,000 burst heal. Because you can just get 2 Imperial Sigils off and burst heal it, gives you about 500. So that's so strong, and they do pick up Lyra. And they counter it with Grace. They're not going to let Grace get banned away this game. They're going to pick it up straight away. Grace really strong early on. She's no invading straight to the enemy backs before you can even take your jungle, unless you've got the carrier and the jungler together. So Grace really strong, obviously, with that divine intervention, can do a lot of burst heal and counter that Lyra. So we're going to see mortal wounds come out from both teams almost certainly. They might go for an Idris ban. We saw how strong Idris was in the last game. Unless they want to pick it up as Team B, you can pick it. They could pick Idris next. It makes sense to ban it away now, or maybe just ban away some like in the first ban previously. That might be unlikely.
Well, they might ban out that Castro though, just so forcing Aeon into another carry that he's not comfortable with, or even just banning out that Idris, forcing Aeon into that Castro once again. But problem with that is that there are no other available good weapon carries, ranged weapon carries at least, unless of course the side of Eanix are very comfortable with that Ringo. Of course, they are going to ban out that Samuel. They do not want to play against it. They do not want it being played against them as well, or they do not want to play it as well. So Samuel, I think, is a good ban. He provided a lot of poke in the previous game, but I don't think Samuel was really the problem. I think the side of Eanix should consider banning out the earlier game heroes just to counter Chingy, or even just that Scarf or Celeste.
I think Chingy feels comfortable that if it's an early game hero, Chingy thinks, I'm going to win this, because it's just so comfortable on those early game heroes. We saw the Grumtree, we saw the Koshka. I don't think Chingy's worried about the enemy picking an early game hero as well. Kestrel ban, it makes sense. Kestrel really strong. Even though it didn't win the last game, it was a real hassle to try and play against, and it's a really good flexible pick. You can either jungle or lane. I think they're going to go Celeste. They're going to go for the poke. They want to go for their comfort pick on the Celeste instead of going for Scarf, as we saw Scarf in the last game being picked. They've got a lot of options they could go here. Against the Celeste, you can play Attacker. Attacker works well.
Well, yeah,
I'd like to see Idris because obviously it's good. You could go Ringo. Ringo can work well in Celeste because if you can dodge out the core collapse and get on top of Celeste, she's not going to be able to get away from you. If she boots, you boots, and then that's it. That's all Celeste disengage. So Ringo's a good weapon back out that could also work.
Yeah, I think the side of Popeyes might actually just settle for that early game Adagio and then the Grumjaw pickup on Chingy. That is what I'm thinking. They might not go for it. They might just go for that Koshka, but then that will make them. They might go for that Koshka, putting that Adagio as the weapon carry. That is highly unlikely. So I think the Grumjaw, we will see that Grumjaw for the side of Popeyes. If that is so, then we might actually see a game 3, because we saw Chingy on this Grumjaw and he's just incredible on that particular hero. Anyways, we are just waiting for the last pickup coming out from the side of Popeyes. If they are going for the Koshka.
Okay.
Like,
I don't like it. I don't like the weapon that does.
I don't like it as well. No.
It kind of works, but if Kestrel's bad. Obviously Kestrel beat Weapon Adagio in when we saw this double heal weapon power Adagio before. We saw Kestrel just destroying. But there's so many other weapon power carries you could go. They're going for Grumjaw. They could have gone Idris. They could have gone Ringo. They could have gone Gwen. Anyone's going to beat Weapon Adagio because they're a weapon power carry. Adagio's a crystal power carry or a captain. He's not a weapon power hero. Grumjaw with that damage reduction with living armor, really good. They're going to try and be early game against early game. So it's going to be really a good fight in the jungle.
But I think
around level 2, level 3.
But I think the side of Eanix has just got that stronger early game because okay, we are looking at the team comp right now. They have a Grace, they have a Celeste and a Grumjaw. Celeste's initial power spike is when she hits level 2, and then the next power spike is when she hits level 8. Level 2 is what I want to talk about because of the core collapse. It's such a good AOE stun. I think it's the best stun in game, although not the longest one. I think it's
really.
Is it not the longest one? I think the longest one is from Krug from Hell's Heart.
You think it's one of the best stuns? You think it's one of the best stuns in the game? That's
not the most reliable. Yeah, I don't think it's the most reliable stun, but I think it's the best stun because it's the only stun in game that is team wide without applying any effects first, like that from Adagio. So with Adagio, you need to apply like the fire, but and then there's team wide stun. But as for Celeste, she gets it at level 2. It's a team-wide stun. And of course, they have the stronger team comp because damage reduction-wise, they have the Grace to provide the directional damage reduction and of course, living armor for Grumjaw as well. Whereas on the side of Popeyes, they are very fragile. I mean, you are looking at Koshka. Koshka is a really good early game hero. You have the buff from Adagio when Adagio gets to level 2. So it's comparison. It's comparable. The side of Eanix is just tankier in the early game. A lot more CCs as well in the later part of the game. But for the side of Popeyes, they just got more damage in the early game. But then at the end of the day, I must say, I really like the team comp coming from the side of Eanix and not Popeyes. Granted, they have double sustain into a Koshka, but in the later game, it is just that Koshka that's going to be, trusted to output that damage. If not, then they are looking snowball the game really, really early on. And which Grace and Grumjaw and even Celeste can kind of stop all forms of snowball.
Yeah, Eanix definitely gonna wait till late game. They can obviously invade, and I think they will try, because if they can stop Koshka invading you, then she's gonna fall off even quicker than she normally does. And obviously Grumjaw's strong. Celeste, as you said, she's known for her level 8 late game housewife, but she's also really quite strong early. She has a lot of damage and, as you said, a lot of CC. And so I think Trophies is going to be rotating down to help Shingy a lot in the jungle. And obviously, if it gets to late game, if it gets everyone's fully built, Weapon Power Adagio can't compete with either Grumjaw damage or Celeste damage, really. Because Weapon Power Adagio just isn't that kind of hero. Shingy will be spotted porting home. That's a 3 mid-tree for Vainglory. Interesting, Shingy isn't going in yet. Just wanting to get home, get boots, get some defense, and then gonna get a little bit more gold experience before actually deciding to try and invade the Grumjaw and Grace. Grace is really strong early game. Didn't actually go for the boots. We tend to see Grace going for sprint boots really early on because she has such high move speed. So if you get sprint boots, that just compounds that. And we are seeing a lane Celeste. You don't generally see that. This boy's going to go low. Holy Nova just going to miss. Good Imperial Sigil. Popped by Tesla Boy to give him the movement speed out of that Holy Nova. Grumjaw and Koshka both just farming up. I'm sure both of them are thinking, I really want to fight. I really want to go in. I want to try and invade. If I can win this early game, we'll win from there. Actually, Shingy going up to lane. How do you find 20 death onto a monkey? Lots of power basic attacks. Choppy's just going to low on energy. He actually so can't really compete against Aeon. Just wants to try and grab as much farm as possible. Aeon's doing well to freeze this lane. Shingy has been going to walk out of the bush and be spotted. Choppy's is so low energy that he can only basic attack for farm, which isn't where he wants to be. Actually, we saw Argudo go into the jungle, but there was a scout trap there, so he was spotted. He didn't know that, and I think he knows. He was called.
That was so
down, so he's just going to port home. Good decision for Eanix to shout, "Hey Shingy, Lyra's going down. You've been spotted."
Yeah.
So he got home. Greedy port, but you're always going to get away there. No one is going to attack you before you port home.
I mean, just look at a CS-wise, granted, Adagio has got a wave pushing into him. But then, even without Heliogenesis and energy, Traffy's is doing really well. Relatively well, yeah. With regards to CS, of course, I mean, he's sitting at 30 CS at 3 minutes. It just turned 3 minutes. But, there is one thing that I'm not understanding right now. Both teams has got very early game team comps. And yet, 3 minutes in, there are no major skirmishes that would claim first blood. Yeah? No. And there is one thing that we must note is that Chingy, his damage falls off so much in the late game that he must make use of the early game at this point in time. Instead of just farming passively alongside that of Grumjaw. Granted, you're going up against a Grumjaw, you may or may not win, depending whether or not Grace is there to babysit Grumjaw. But even then, Grumjaw will out-damage you in the later game, especially with the current meta. Oh, Chingy is going into lane.
Shingy rotating up through the jungle of Eanix, but there was a rough monkey in there. Good holding over. Knew that Kosh was rotating, so Chockies is going to be okay. And there's a flare to check that Truffy's can push the wave in, and so he will. It's good that actually I'm going to go in. Last core collapse. Start Tesla Boy going low. I'm going to boot towards Tesla Boy. We're not quite going to get that benediction, so retribution basic attack. And I'm just going to back off. Tesla Boy is nice and healthy from that Imperial Sigil, and I like how Truffy's is being very defensive until he gets a flare from a monkey in the enemy bush, so he knows Koshka's not there. I can push. But he's not pushing unless he knows that Koshka's not trying to kill him. Koshka is level 6, so he's going to be kept defensive available, and it's going to be used on Truffy's. There's obviously not a block, we're only 4 minutes in, so that's going to be Truffy's falling. Nice double core collapse stun, but Shiggy's just too strong. Jedi hasn't quite got the stuff yet, because he was not quite farming as effectively as Shiggy is. Shiggy's getting some more solo farms, some more solo levels, and Iron Jedi's going to try and stop this turret. He must be level 6 quite soon. Just get a couple of the CS, but Shiggy's going to dive onto the turret. Just a little bit of poke and try and get this down with some empowered basic attacks. But Truffy's is back. He's going to boost in for Shiggy. Shiggy now goes to Aeon. It's a nice basic attack. And there's the stuff. It's up. I'm going to hit level 6. He's going to fall almost. Aeon's going to pick up that kill. Shiggy tried to survive the fountain, and now it's all on Truffy's. He's very low. Aeon's going to dive the tower. The block was up for Truffy's. He baited the basic attack from Adagio, secured the kill from the turret. Globjal's got his tension bone out, and Tesla Boy's going to try and get it with Imperial Sigil. Not going to be enough. Truffy's can now farm up. Tesla Boy hasn't got any real damage, so Truffy's going to get this wave, and then there's another wave, so he'll probably get that before he ports home and gets a bit more energy. I like the fact that he picked up a weakness block. As soon as he died to the level 6 Koshka, he just bought a blocks. It's so important against this Koshka.
Yeah, I mean, competition at this level, very early custom or itemization is really needed, especially for teams. When you have a Koshka just lurking around, just waiting for the catnip frenzy, just to pounce in, stun you up for that 2 seconds. You know, honestly, with a reflex block, it is a very reliable block up to that, and it's quite an easy skill to block as well. So kudos to Truffy's for building that.
Frenzy onto Ivy, who died in the jungle though. He has got his stuff available now, but he's already too low for it to even do anything. Cheetah's going to get the basic attack, and that's an easy pickup for Koshka. Globjal caught out. I did have a block, but it just wasn't used. He wasn't expecting Shiggy to be up. Truffy's now going to try and get core collapse onto Shiggy, but she's too quick. He's not even going to try it. Going to get core collapse. Double stun onto Tesla Boy and Aeon. They're actually going to be stunned twice by Rough Monkey and Truffy. They have that double team-wide crowd control, which if Truffy's managed to get a triple stun and Rough Monkey is in position, that's a very long triple stun if they combine it with the Holy Nova. Angular's going to go in. Lovely ball walk from Lyra. He boots and then tried to use the hangry, but so the Grumpy but couldn't get in. I'm sure it'll be Grumpy that one was cancelled by the white ball walk. And I'm happy with that one. But now he's probably going to pull him. Koshka was there. Oh, in 30 seconds. But he's got the stuff. He's going to walk towards Aeon actually, and that's going to be not quite the Holy Nova. So Aeon's going to go. Going to do a lot of damage actually. Solar Storm from Celeste, not quite landing, not quite picking up Shiggy. Shiggy's going to have to back off. He's got that aftershock now, but I did fall, and Shiggy managed to get away. So well played from Popeyes. They managed to catch up Globjal when he tried to take away the mid tree, and he's going to respawn now and just work towards that fence mode old tyrants.
You know, honestly, the side of Eanix, they should stop all forms of aggression at this point in time.
Stop.
Yes, just stop all forms of aggression at this point in time. There is no reason you would win a Koshka that has a heavy prism and of course an aftershock as well. And of course, Adagio at this point in time, at 8 minutes in, 10 minutes, ooh.
There's the ball going to be used after the Echo Passion. Shiggy's going to dive this turret. Good stun from Truffy's with that core collapse. Rough Monkey's going to go in, but distribution quite going to land. And again, just both teams backing off. That was a good disengage from Eanix. They've still got the Giant Dimension and they've got the stuff. Speaking of stuff, Upjaw's on Giant Dimension on Truffy's slightly, not slightly early, also Celeste, bang on time. And Shiggy not quite going to get that Imperial Sigil. It wasn't popped while she was standing on top of it. And now Angry wants to find Shiggy. They can still win despite the He's going to Grumpy into that bush and Shiggy can easily get away. Speed boost off the gold mine. And Eanix, another good disengage, a good fight. The combination, the fact that he's stuffed, Celeste, sorry, Rubber Monkey channeled the Divine Intervention, and Celeste channeled the Solar Storm. As soon as the Solar Storm was used, Shingy was down and got hit by it. So I thought Celeste did it too early. I thought, oh, they've mistimed this. They need to work on their coordination. But no, they don't. They just did it on literally to the millisecond perfectly.
Well, yeah, definitely. I must say, initially I thought as well that Truffy will send out a premature Solar Storm, but that didn't quite happen. I wanted to make a bad joke there. But I'll just keep it in. I'll hold it in. But anyways, like I said, Eanix should actually stop all forms of engagement at this point in time. Best they could do is just disengage and then re-engage when they have a more favorable position. Because simply, Desert Boy is at level 7 now. Just one more level to overdrive the Imperial Sigil. Whereas Rubber Monkey, you only have 1 point. Ooh.
And here we go. It's going to be Arcade Passage to get Popeyes in the top this time. To get the combat and stuff out of your Yummy Cat. That's unfortunate. That's not going to land. Snowstorm hits Shingy, but again, not quite going to connect fully. That was a good stuff from Gumshaw. I think he'll say he meant it, but I'm pretty sure that was good timing from IQ9. Shingy wants to get this turret quite low. Probably is going to fall. Monkey's not going to land that right. Not going to land that. Holy Nova, but actually Truffy's going to boost in. He's going to go on top of Aeon, and that Supernova doesn't quite land onto Tesla Boy. It's going to be okay, and they're going to try and push this return turret. So Popeye's turret is going to go quite low now after Eanix's went low, but Aeon's going to try and clear this wave. Shingy's up in lane. There's the Yummy Cat 20 in 12 seconds. Yudai again stuffed in 15. Shingy's very low. The heal from Adagio will keep her alive. And both turrets very low. Both teams want to push it. And Popeyes are going to leave this turret to fall. They're not even going to try and contest it. Shingy's going to try and get a mid, but Yudai's already got it. And that'll be first time going to Eanix. They'll be happy with that. Close the gold deficit they are under, and just get towards when Celeste Power Spike, which is so much stronger in late game.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, Celeste is already level 9, has got that overdrive on Heliogenesis. So Celeste would have would come out with more zoning capabilities at this point in time. And I think this is where they should start picking out their fights. Not before. Ooh, I agree you die. Actually, not going for that tension.
A different Grubjaw build. Yay!
A different one indeed. And not.
I hope.
Yeah.
That's the tension by Solar Blade. I hope that's tension by Solar Blade.
Well, yeah, I think it will be tension bow into Sorrow Blade, but then honestly, I really like the build. If it's going for that's just
turret's gone. Popeyes just need to push a little bit, and that turret will go down. I think this Grubjaw build is smart. Koshika's got defense immediately because she was expensive. But there's the Arcane Passage and there's the Divine Bulwark. There's a lovely double stun from the Tony Nova and the Talking Out Stone Storm. Going to get Shingy very low, but so's IQ9. Nice. Heliogenesis zone out Aeon. So that's not quite with the Frostburn yet. Still needs to port home to get either a Broken Myth or a Frostburn. So I don't think Chuffy really wants to fight, and Popeyes know this. To try and stop him porting Shingy on the back line. Quite low, but if he dives in, a nice Talking Up stun. Followed up by Holy Nova, not quite going to land, but just going in. Stuff isn't available yet, but IQ9's going to get a kill before he dies, and he's still not going to die yet. Truffy really wants to shop. He got 1,600 gold, so he's not going to chase Adagio on full health. And I mean, couldn't quite get angry, you die. And so they're just going to back off. Eanix happy again. They got another favorable team fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is when we do see that Chingy is starting to fall off. We do see a 1k gold lead in favor of Popeyes, but that's about what's going on for them, going for them. You know, when Celeste hits the power spike, when she is the level 8, and after Grumjaw picks up that second attack item, be it Sorrow Blade or even that Tyrant's Monaco that we commonly see, it is a very good power spike for the side of Eanix because they are working towards the late game after all. We do see an Echo being picked up on Grace, so then we will see an Echo, a Divine Intervention. That will make, Divine Intervention a skill in itself. It is already so frustrating to deal with, yeah? Because honestly, they heal you, Grace heals you when you're about to die, and enemy thinks that he's got. Ooh, Chingy is going in.
Frenzy not blocked by Celeste. Holinova will be blocked by Koshka, and that Celeste bursted down immediately. She didn't block up the Yellow Frenzy, which I'm sure Tuffy will not be happy about. Stuffed, killed out of the Stuffed. Grumjaw's going to fall. 2 kills going over to Popeyes. They should be able to get a gold mine or a turret. Turret makes more sense if you want to get the map control as opposed to the objective if you can. And they're probably going to get the gold mine anyway. I'd expect to see Truffy's Solar Storm on the gold mine, just because why not? It'd be unlikely to steal it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Solar Storm on this gold mine, it's possible. We might actually do see. Oh, okay, nope, we do not see it.
You didn't fancy it. Didn't fancy it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Popeye is coming to this game. They are playing very well. Chingy is on a hero that's very comfortable with, and of course, you know, Aeon is rather comfortable on this Adagio, I must say. But then again, the side of Eanix, it's as if they're not playing to the best of their heroes. I mean, I agree you die, yeah? He's one of those players that he's known for trying to end that game as early as possible. He doesn't have that late game patience, if we must put it in words. Just do not have that stamina for that late game play. And then we are seeing him making a lot of terrible decisions, just going in for the Koshka. And one thing about I Angry You Die from all his previous play that we've seen is that I Angry You Die usually just goes in without a lot of support from his teammates. There was one fight that we did see that Celeste manages to run out. Oh, they are looking for a fight right now.
It's the okay passage and the actually the Grumpy uses the Stuffed on Koshka, but not quite landing on top of Celeste. But that's good poke from Celeste. The other kind of frenzy, he can land on Scrumpshaw. It wasn't a block available on Drown Frenzy, keep him nice and healthy. He's gonna actually fall so quickly, so much damage from Aeon. He's weapon power Adagio, and she can get the Shriam to keep herself healthy. But Truffy's got and Anki got the Divine Intervention, but he just fell so quickly to the Adagio. Speaking of Adagio, he's going on top of Truffy's, and Truffy's will probably get the kill with the tower shot. No, the heal from Adagio is enough. He'll survive and be absolutely fine. This weapon power Adagio is just showing that, even though I don't think it works very well, Aeon's just playing this superbly. He's diving in, he's not being focused down at all by Grubjaw, because Grubjaw's going on Shingy, which is not Shingy or Tezaboy, and that's not what you want to do as a Grubjaw. You want to be diving on Aeon. He hasn't got any defense on you, so you're going to have to kill him. And that's the Stuffed going to come out from Argydyne, blocks up the tree route. Shingy's by the center tree. He's going to land an Atlas, but will die to the right dimension. And this is now a 3v2 for Eanix. 30 seconds before Koshka respawns. They can either get the Kraken, or they could try and bait Kraken and just take a team fight. So they're going to start it up. I think Celeste should be fine at securing this. You've got a Team against the Supernova. Should easily secure the Kraken. Popeyes definitely going to look for the steal, and they don't want to fight. If Eanix don't want to fight, there's no reason not to go for the steal.
Celeste
should get it. Yep, Celeste got it, obviously.
Yeah.
You could Supernova on your Helio. It does so much burst damage that you shouldn't let them steal that away from you.
Well, yeah, definitely. And I must say though that the skill kit on Grace, yeah, Divine Intervention. You would think that the ultimate of Grace, the heal, the messed up heal, would be called Holy Nova, yeah. Right.
Get it. Come on.
No, because you messed up just now. So I was like trying to think from your point of view whether or not Grace actually got the kill via Divine Intervention or got the kill via Holy Nova. So that kind of messed me up anyways. I'll just hold that thought.
He's going to go for the Stuff and pass it through. Stuff is going to block up for the Frenzy nicely, and Shingy's going to try and stay healthy with that heal from Lyra and the Fountain to keep Truffy's alive. Truffy's going to be absolutely fine. Ael's going to get stunned up by the core collapse. Now Truffy did fall to the Adagio. Grubjaw's just trying to go on to Tenderboy, and the Dwight Bullwalk wasn't quite in time. Argydyne going to get that, not quite, because of that Imperial Sigil from Lyra. Argydyne's going to Grumpy in. He's got his hand with the Imperial Sigil, clutch saving his life, and this will probably be just this one next turret for Kraken. Eanix far too low to get any more. Koshka's already up. Adagio's up now, and we saw Shingy try to dive Celeste. Celeste blocked the Captain Frenzy, that was expected, and then can easily burst down Koshka. And if she can just, Celeste can just stay outside of Naja's range, then Eanix should have these team fights pretty easily.
Well, yeah, and we saw just now, Angry Udaya on this, Grumjaw did something that was rather curious. He stuffed out Aeon 22 on this Darsho and brought him really far away from that team fight. And the usual combination we see with Celeste, Grace, and it's just Celeste and Grumjaw would be stuffed into a core collapse and hopefully a solar storm. But instead, Angry Udai ate up Aeon 22 and brought him so far away from the fight that half of the fight, when Trophies actually took down Chingy and possibly Boy at a fight, there was no sign of Aeon at all. So I think this is one of the strategy coming into this game. But I personally think if they can actually work better, coordinate better, and then chain stuff into a core collapse, a mass core collapse at least, because Chingy will have to be in the forefront as well, yeah, and then shoot out a solar storm at least like 5 or even 4 broken myth stack. I think that would be enough burst to take down Aeon or even Chingy on that Koshka, on that Dajo and Koshka respectively. Maybe not take them down, but probably get them low enough for them to retreat, because Grumjaw, we saw, he's got great chase potential, as with Grace as well. So if they get them low enough, they can chase.
Look at Popeyes, they're hiding. Boy's got the arcane passage, there's vision in that bush. I don't think that flare got them. I think they're still hidden. Eanix know that Popeyes are waiting somewhere, and they're actually just going to expose themselves now. But Monkey and War Shreds away, so they did back off under Sentry. Stuff not going to go through the wall, and that Thunderstorm is going to connect on Shingy again. Down to half health, but that's a heal from Adagio and Lyra gets Shingy back up to full health. And Eanix is going to fight around the Sentry. And despite the fact that Eanix want that Kraken Fish, look at the vision control from Boy. The scout traps everywhere in both Popeye's jungle and Eanix jungle. Gosh, that Captain Frenzy got up, neither is Grumjaw stuffed. And so Eanix is going to port home. They saw Popeyes pushing the lane. Now Popeyes are going to respond by immediately going straight to this Kraken. I think Red Monkey's going to run towards it as quick as he can, try and get a flare on that Kraken pit, so Celeste can try and Solar Storm to steal it. But Popeyes waiting in the bush, showing you're going to be flared out by Red Monkey. The fusions are up for both of them. Lots of flares. There's a double fountain for Red Monkey and I Angry You Die. That's good. Aeon's caught out, and so's Koshka. Who are they going to go for? Eanix are going to go for Koshka, and they had the opportunity. Popeyes will split. Truffy's going to block up. Kind of Frenzy a block away. Household Chargers give you a 3-second sprint, which is so long that you can just run away from Koshka. And there's going to be Poke trying to build up some broken mist stacks on Celeste. Gudai has got the stuff. Koshka hasn't got her Yummy Cat Frenzy, so she doesn't want to go in. But the wave's pushed up, so Eanix going to back off. So will Popeyes. And both teams just, no one wants to take the Kraken because they know that the other team is going to be there pretty quickly.
Yep, they are just going to reset. They are just going to go back up, clear their lanes, and just hopefully they are posturing now for a fight. A Solar Storm is thrown out at Kraken, but Kraken is not being taken at all. But we do see the item build up on this Grumjaw. I started so much there because I actually forgot the name of Grumjaw. I called him Doggo. Like, I wanted to say Doggo because of his new skin. But anyways, they are going in for a fight.
Okay, Pass is going to go in. White Bulwark stop Grumjaw from getting out. And Celeste's going to just boot away. Preemptive stun, thinking Chingy would go in. But that was an Arcane Passage down and a War Shreds and both boots down. Eanix used absolutely every boots possible to run away there. Celeste has got an Infusion, House of Chargers. Scrap that. She sold her House of Chargers and got Journey Boots. So she's now going to the Kraken again. Not off another 30 seconds. They're definitely not taking it, Celeste. You can keep holding it, but you're not going to secure Kraken by just ults. That doesn't quite work that way. And so Celeste, with that Journey Boots, is now decided that the way I'm going to win this fight is just run. If I can run away from Koshka, I'm going to win the fight. So I need Journey Boots so I can keep doing that. And Eanix don't know where Popeyes is. They're all hiding. There's a lot of hiding from Popeyes at the moment. Now they're going to come out towards Eanix, and they're going to find Grace is shopping. Nothing's going to run to the Grace trying to stay alive. 890 massive heal, but they're starting, they're singing, and that is going to be Scruffy's falling so much damage. And now Eanix have got nothing. They've gone for the support Grumpjaw, 2 damage items in the fountain. He doesn't do anywhere near the damage a weapon Grumpjaw should be doing. And the Rubber Monkey is going to fall, going to be the sacrifice. Now Argudai's just going to get back into base. He hasn't got anywhere near enough damage.
He doesn't at all. And yep, and that was the thing that I wanted to point out just now before that fight actually broke out. Grumpjaw is trying his best to stop whatever that the side of Popeyes is gonna do. But then, honestly, you're Grumpjaw with no damage. You managed to take down Tazzaboy, maybe? Nope, not even Tazzaboy.
No, and that's game for Popeyes.
That is game for Popeyes. I mean, just looking at Grumpjaw's build, you have that tension bow, you have that early game spike. Your problem really is just that you did not have that any damage to follow up that of trophies. I mean, I understand the concept behind it. It is basically just sandwiching that trophies. Yeah, you have Grumpjaw to peel for trophies, but the problem is that you are inherently tanky already with your living armor. There is no